And welcome to Ask Bonnie. This is something we do every week on Web Waste where we pick a topic and then we answer your questions on that topic. And you learn something and you thank us and maybe you even get an honorary degree from Harvard because you're so smart thanks to us. All right, the topic this week is mummies. Let's get into the first question. It's from Ned in Nashville and he asks, well, what is a mummy? This is a good question because a lot of us were weaned off of mummy movies, so we think it's just some guy wrapped in white bandages running after the Scooby-Doo gang, and that's not quite what a mummy is. A mummy is actually, let me put it this way, when you first die, right, bacteria takes over and decomposes your body. But if you're a mummy, somehow, some way, either by human intervention or by nature, it mummifies your body and the fleshy parts of your body are still intact, not just your skeleton. So that's what a mummy is. And primarily most people are interested in mummies because of the ancient Egyptians who took it upon themselves to mummify their dead instead of just hoping that nature would run its course. So that's what a mummy is. So if you see a mummy, you don't have to run away because it's not going to come and get you. All right. Second question is from Randy in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. And he asks, who's the most famous mummy of them all? Well, if you're a Steve Martin fan, you'd probably say King Tut. If you're a little bit more academic, you'd probably say Ramses, or maybe even the Iceman if you watch Discovery TV at all, or go to discovery.com. They're really big on the Iceman. Or even if you're a historical buff, maybe you say Lenin, the ruler that got mummified. Of course, he was in the Soviet Union, Russia, all that. But you know what? I'm not going to agree with any of that. I'm going to go for the Underdog mummy. Possibly a mummy you're not familiar with unless you watch a lot of TV and cartoons like I do. And that would be a mummy off the cereal box. I hope you know where I'm going with this. And that's Yummy Mummy. He was with the Count Chocula gang, Frankenberry. Yeah, he actually had his own cereal called Fruity Yummy Mummy. And not a lot of people know about him. So I thought I would take it upon myself to go ahead and push Yummy Mummy. You can't get that cereal anymore, and if you find it in a grocery store, I probably wouldn't eat it because it's about 20 years old. So we miss you, Yummy Mummy. Make a comeback. Do a movie or something. We miss you. All right, last question is from Patricia in Portland, Oregon, and she asks, can a mummy be a superhero? You know what? I've always wondered about this because if you watch movies or cartoons, and a lot of times just in general, any kind of popular media, they make the mummy the bad guy. He's always chasing after archaeologists during their dig, or he's running after, helpless women or something, or like I mentioned before, the Scooby-Doo gang always got chased down by mummies. They're never really happy, great people. Until you go into the cartoon world of course, the Drac Pack, and then there's the Groovy Ghoulies. But I'd have to say Mummies Alive is the best example of where a mummy can be a good guy. This was a cartoon in 1997, and these mummies were superheroes, and they protected this little boy. And it was kind of a short-lived cartoon, but they were definitely superheroes, and they didn't kill anybody good. So if you're very pro-mummy and you want your kids or your neighbors to see how mummies can be, the good guy, then watch Mummies Alive. Otherwise, you're just stuck with a lot of bad mummies chasing scientists and stuff, and that's just sad. So that's it for this week on Ask Bonnie. Hopefully you learned quite a bit about mummies, and you won't be spreading around bad propaganda about how mummies are evil, because they're not always the bad guy. And if you want to go ahead and email me your suggestions or topics for future Ask Bonnies, go ahead and do that, and I'll try to answer every one of your special little questions, because like a mummy, I can be a good guy too.